Assalamu alaikum dear students. This is the second lecture of week 1. History of theory of computation is still continue. In 1969, F. Cook extended the functionality of the Turing machine, what could be computed and what could not be computed. Right? So he is talking furthermore for the Turing machine, where we can use or where we cannot use. Cook thoroughly investigated that some problem can be solved efficiently by computer under certain condition, which is known as traceable problem, while those problems which cannot be solved due to limited resources, that can be time and space. Such problem is called non-deterministic hard problem. Theory of computation deals with the study of abstract machine or model of computation defined mathematically, which means we have to prove the truth whatever we discover. Also, algorithm accepts input and execute these input step by step under certain condition. Ultimately, the final output is accomplished. Now, we are going towards some basic definition of the language inside theory of automata. Generally, we speak two types of languages in our daily life. The first one we have the formal languages, and the second one we have informal languages. So, what is formal languages? The formal languages contain set of strings of symbol which has been drawn from finite alphabet under certain rules and condition, right? So, for formal languages, whenever we creating or whenever we developing something, it should be under certain condition. So the formal languages we also call synthetic languages. Second type of languages that is called informal languages. The informal languages contain set of string of symbol without holding or follow certain rules and condition, right? So here we do not look for any kind of grammar or some condition. We just apply whatever we want. So usually informal language is called semantic languages. Now we have some basics of theory of computation which are very necessary for developing of regular expression of theory of automata. So the first letter, that is the alphabet. Alphabet contain a single letter, right? So it means we have non-empty set of symbols, right? So in other words, we call it a letter. It is denoted by a sigma symbol. Like we have an example, a set which is contain A and B. Another set we have 0 and 1, right? In the third set we have I, J and K. So actually it tells us about what is alphabet and what and how we can represent the alphabet in regular expression or theory of automata. So we are using the basic symbol, that is the sigma, this symbol, and this is the set of that sigma or set related to the alphabet, right? So that is a different representation. It could be any kind of information we put in this set, right? Then we have the second one, that is the string. String, which is a combination of different alphabet, right? So it should be in some specific order. It depends on the rule and the condition which is provided by the user or computer or by machine or anything we are developing, right? So we have an example over here, a set which is contain A and B. So how we can combine them according to definition of string. So like we can say A, comma, A, B, comma, A, B, B, and so on. If we can see over here, so we do not have any kind of specific rule applied over here. If we have a rule further which will come later, so we will see how to define a string. However, we have example of how we can write the string concatenation or combination. That is one of the example. Further, there's some important point about the string. In string, sometimes we have empty sets and sometimes we do not have empty sets. So it depends on the policy of the uh, regular expression or theory of automata. There is important thing, the small letter, the small string mean the empty string or the null string which is represented by a small lambda, or we can use a capital lambda. However, in our further study, we will focus on the capital lambda. So there is no special in this point. Just remember to say whenever we design a string with null, so we can put the small lambda or a capital lambda. So, but usually we use a capital lambda this time. Okay, next we have words. If we go back to the previous slide, first was it was alphabet, then string, and then word. So like for example, we have a word apple. So in apple we have APPLE, that is the complete apple word. So if we separate each unit or each alphabet from the apple word, so like A, P, 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 and LE, so these are the alphabet. Combinedly we call, or making different combination of these apple words, so this is a string. So as a whole word which give a complete meaning, that is a word. So understand dear students. Okay, so we have an example over here. For example, we have a set of X, then a language L can be defined as we have a specific condition like x the power n or x of n. So what is n? We have the values of n, that is 1, 2, 3 and so on. So whenever we define a language for x, so we can write like x comma 2 times x comma 3 times x and so on, depending on the value of n. So that is actually we are representing the words, right student? We have very important points about the words, like all words are string, right? But reverse is not possible. So that is important thing for the words designing. Next, we have some points valid and invalid in alphabets. So what is alphabet? What is valid alphabet data set? When there is no repetition of the first alphabet in the set, right? So that is called valid alphabet. For example, we have an example over here. Like for example, we have a set of A, B, and C. So if we can see from this valid alphabet, so we have starting A, right? We have starting A. There is no repetition at first point, at second place A. So this is called a valid. So what is non-valid or invalid alphabet set? When there is repetition of the first alphabet in the second unit and third unit and fourth unit. So this is called invalid or non-valid alphabet test. So if we can see over here invalid alphabet, so this is A. In second place we are seeing that we have a repetition of A and so on. So this is called invalid. Same we have an example. If we see, so we have starting of B, so there is no B at the first place in the rest of units. In sigma 2, like if we see, we have starting of B, so in the second place we have also starting of B, so this is called invalid. This is invalid, and the first one we have a valid alphabet. Length of string. Sometimes we need to measure different memory units of computer science, or sometimes we need to search a specific word from a string. So for this purpose we have to know about a formula in programming languages is the length. So here we are also using the length of string. So the length of string is which is denoted by absolute lines, absolute values. Okay, so we have an example over here. We have a set of A and B. So S is equal to AB, AB, and A. So what is the total length of this string, that is 5. Same uh, we have a set of different alphabets, right? So we have, this is here around 8 length of the string or alphabet, right? So we also can represent each of the unit or each of the data set in separate brackets. So this is called tokenization. Tokenization we usually use sometimes for replacement or for searching or pattern recognition purposes. We will see later in machine learning some basic concepts. Reverse of string. Reverse of string is that whenever we replace real values into a reverse value, so that is called string. In other words, reverse of string is denoted by a reverse of s, right? Or s of r is denoted by writing the letter of s in reverse order. Like for example, if s is equal to abc is a string defined from the set of abc, then the reverse of this, that is the cba. We have example over here. This is the string right over here, so we can write the string in reverse order by this way. Okay, next we have the definitions of different languages. So theory of computation, we have different languages for different purposes. The first one we have the descriptive definition, the second one we have the recursive definition, the third one we have regular expression, which is very important, and the last one, that is the finite automata. We have also other languages which we'll see later. So the first one we have that is the descriptive definition of languages. They define certain rule, and under these such certain rules are applied on words to explore the model of languages. So that is very important, right? We have an example on this. Actually, the meaning of descriptive definition of languages is that whenever we designing a language, so we have certain condition. That condition depend on your requirement or on your objectives, right? So in the later, in the upcoming slide, we have to see what kind of rules we can use to define the language, which is the descriptive languages. First example, we have the language L of string of odd length, right? So it means we have a language, right, which have odd length. So what is the data set? That is A. So we have a data set A, and if we apply the odd, so here we can see A, comma 3 times A, comma 5 times A, comma 7 times A. So it meets the odd length. So that is very important to define the descriptive languages. And a second example, the language L of string that does not start with A, right? Defined from a set of A, B, and C, which can be written as, for example, B, comma C, BA, comma BB, comma BC, comma CA, comma CB, comma CC, and so on. So from this example, if we see what is the basic condition they applied here, it will not start from A. It will not start from A. Then rest of is optional for us how we can write the language, right? So that is an important point for us. So through this way we can define regular expression with under certain conditions. Next example, we have a language L of string which have a length 2 from a set of 0, 1, and 2. So how we can write? Like we can define the language L 00, comma 01, 02, comma 01, comma 11, comma 12, and so on. So if we see the condition, that is the length of 2, they are focusing on length of 2. They didn't mention why we have to start with 0, 1, or we should remove or we should not include 2, and so on. So there's only condition we have of 2, right? We have to make a pair of 2. So it could be any combination from this data set, right? Another example we have the language L of string ending in 0, right? So here we have the condition that the definition or the language L should be end with 0 from the set of 0 1. Like for example, we have O comma O comma 1 O comma 3 times O and so on. So it means we have a language, right? It must be end with 0, right? So there is no uh, point that whether we should start with 0 or 1. We can start with 0 and 1 as well, but ending should be 0. So this is an important point for this example. Next example we have the language equal have string with numbers of A's equal to a number of B's from a set of A and B. What does this mean? For example, they say we have A and B in this set. It must both A and B must be equal from the language. So right, we can see from here empty set, right? Then we have AB. The next we have AA and BB. So what does this mean? They say from here, for example, if we write A 10 times, so the B should be also equal to 10 times, because we have the language condition that is the equal, right? So we have to focus on the equal word. So it depends. Like for example, you can write 3 times A, so you should write 3 times B. So this is the condition, but there is no condition whether we have to start with A or we have to start with B. So it's totally optional, but we have to focus and we have to care about the equal or equality between A and B. That is very important. Next example, the language even of string with even number of A's and even number of B's defined from set of A and B. What does it mean? Whenever we define A and B from set of A and B, it should be even, right? Like for example, it should be a pair. It should be a pair of 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. So this is the important thing. So we have from even language, we have empty set, right? AA, BB, 4 times A, 2 times A, 2 times B. So this is the even word, right? So we have to see this thing, important thing, even. We have to write for each A and B. It could be 2 times for each, it could be 4 times for each, and from the data set, right, student? Next example, we have the language integer. So first of all, we should know about the integer. So integer, it could be any number, right? Plus minus and 0 to 9. That is the complete range of integer. So the language integer of string defined from a set of minus 0, 1 up to 9, which can be write as dash mean we have beyond this, right, comma, minus 2, comma, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2 and so on. So this is the meaning of integer, how we can write the integer rule for such language. That is very important thing. Next example, we have the language even of string define our set minus comma O minus 1 up to 9. So here we have to see the language even, right? So here doesn't they define the here they didn't define the integer, right? So the most important thing, we have the even. So from the set which is defined in the language, we have minus O, then 1, 2 up to 9. right? So we can write anything because they have also given the minus symbol, so it should be even number like -4, -2, right? 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. From -4 we can have the -6, -8, -10 and so on. So we have to see and focus on the even from the given set. Okay, students, we have another example. The language that is a power of n, b of power n, right? Or string defined from a and b. So for n we have the value that is 1, 2, 3 and so on. So how we can write such condition? Such condition mean a of n and b of n from set for a set of a and b. So we can write like ab, a b b, 3 times b and 3 times a and so on. How it has happened? Like for example, if we want, if we assign 1 1 to the value n, so it will automatically appear a and b, right? If we assign 2, so it means we have to write 2 times a and 2 times b and so on. This is the same example. I mean this next example, right? Only we have extra, we have f n over here. This is the same thing, right? Next example, that is the language factorial. So before studying such kind of languages, the student should know about like factorial, double factorial, square, square root. So these are very basic thing and maths, right? So for factorial, we have to define, we have to write a language of factorial, right, from a set of 1, 2 up to 9. Okay, so if I apply factorial on 1, so 1 factorial is also 1. If 2 factorial, so it is also 2. If 3 factorial, it is 6. If 4 factorial, it is 24 and so on. So that is the factorial language expenditure. Okay, next we have the language factorial with the another condition, that is a of n factorial. What is n? That is 1, 2, 3 and so on. So how we can write the factorial language for set of a under this formula or these values, right? So we can write a 2 times a, 6 times a and so on. So like this way we have to think about the what type of language we should need to define and from which data set and under which condition. So this is the condition, right? So you have to see this values. It's the second condition, and the first condition, that is the factorial, right? From the previous slide, like a and b, this is the first condition. Like here, this is also first condition, and this is the sub condition, or you can say the second condition. So we have to see these things, right? In that example, we have the double factorial. Okay, so we have to define the double factorial from set of a and b. So how we can define the double factorial? They have given the hence or sub condition, like a the power n factorial, b the power n factorial, and what is the value of n? So we have 1, 2 and 3. So we have the same procedure and same placement order as I explained over here in this example, right? Another example we have, that is the square, right? So the square should be defined or should be written from a set of a under the formula or under the subcondition. We have a of n square. So what is n? We have again the same values 1, 2, 3. So we can write like if we sign over here a of n, right, and n value is 1, right? So 1 the power 2, so it's again a and so on. So we can write like this way. Okay, we have another example, the language which is uses the double square, right? So the double square from the set of A and B under the formula or under the second condition, that is A of n square, the power n square, B of n square, the power mean, and the formula for n is equal to, or values for n, that is 1, 2, and 3. If we apply, right, 1, 2, 3, and so on replacing with any value, so we will get these uh, language for double square, right, students? Okay, in this example, we have the language prime. So what is prime, or what is prime number? Okay, it is a number that is divisible only by itself and 1. Like we have an example 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and so on. So this is the thing. So this is the definition of prime, like divisible only by 1 and itself, like. Okay, so we have to define a prime language from a set of A under the condition or under the formula A of P. So P is a prime. So like we have to assign the two value, mean the two values 5, 7, and 5, 7, and so on. So like we have the 2, right, 3, 5, 7, and so on. So this is the prime. So actually the example of these are related to the descriptive definition of language, which is again under certain rule and condition you have to develop a language, which is a kind of model to define the languages for different kind of problem. So most probably this descriptive language come under umbrella of um, machine learning categories, right? So we will see later how we can implement these things, or how we can solve different kind of problem using descriptive definition languages. Okay, the last one we have the palindrome. What is palindrome? Palindrome is the combination of string. If we read from left side, or if we read from the right side, so from both side reading we have the same meaning, right? Here they mention that if we read the same from forward and backward, so we have the same meaning. This is called the palindrome. Like for example, if we write from left side, from here OTTO, so it's an auto, right? If I read from right side or from backward side, this side, backward side, this side, OTTO, this is also called auto. Same for this example. If I read from here 0, it says 0110. If I read it from here 0110, and so on. So this is called palindrome. I hope, dear student, you have understand this lecture, and inshallah we will explain later if you need any kind of question. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.